If you like the content that I'm putting out, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We're trying to get 10K by the end of the year. Hey guys, Nathan Brendan Masters. Just want to come on and check in with you guys. Some of you have been asking me where I am, what I've been up to, and what's happening with the channel. Thank you for the concerns and comments and things. I'm here. I'm right here, and I do plan to come back to YouTube. I'm working on a project right now, as you can see, the Blastback role-playing game, and especially if you are a Comicsgate creator, you're going to like this. My goal is for this to be the official role-playing game of Comicsgate. Even though this takes place in the Night Phoenix Press universe, you will be able to do your own supplemental material for this. So it's any Comicsgate creator. As a matter of fact, any independent creator, but specifically Comicsgate people, you'll be able to make your own supplemental material for this game, and as a matter of fact, your own books for this game. This is an open source game, and that is what I'm aiming for, and this is something I plan to release. I plan to start the campaign for next month. Now, there's already a version of this available on Amazon, but this is going to be a new version. It's going to have some new art and stuff like that, and there may be a new cover. I also want to do some tighter editing and things like that. It's not going to have like a ton of perks and things like Zach. I'm going to kind of try to keep it basic. I'm thinking maybe 2 to 4 perks somewhere in there. Not a lot of stuff happening. I want to keep it where when I print it, it can go directly from the printer to the backers. That's what I want. Ethan told me, hey, you want to go from the printer to the backer. You don't want to do double shipping because that doubles up on the postage. And he's 100% right. The postage rates right now are batshit crazy. Unless you can get the book rate postage, and again, that's iffy. You don't want to chance that. So let the printer ship that out, and you factor all that in with the original printing costs. Now, maybe some of your like if you have some big high-end items, like some $100 items and stuff, like I had one item that was like $100. One person got that, and I shipped that out to them. I personally only have to ship out a few packages from the current project, so that's not going to be a lot of money at all. As a matter of fact, one of them have already gone out. The rest are at the printers right now. As far as YouTube is concerned, with the vlogging and the movies and things like that, I don't really know where I'm at with that right now. I've been thinking about a lot of stuff. For those who don't know, there was a time when I was a full-time YouTuber. I was a full-time YouTuber for, I would say, about a year, roughly, where it was actually making enough money, not necessarily to live off of by itself, but it was making a nice amount of money. Some bills got paid, and I bought some new equipment. The majority of my new equipment actually came from, or at least it's not new anymore, but my G7 and my computer, all that came from YouTube funds. So I was making enough money to actually do that kind of stuff. And as soon as I got situated and everything, Susan Wojcicki started doing all kind of crazy shit with the algorithm and stuff like that. And I'm not going to sit here and be one of those people who blame the algorithm, but it is working for me the way I used to work. It is working harder for less, and the more I do, it seems like every time you turn around, they're looking for somebody to ban, and the kind of material that I do can be on the chopping block. I mean, I tend to specialize in action horror, particularly Heaven and Hell, urban fantasy style action horror. And a lot of that stuff has overt religious themes. And that nowadays can get you demonetized on YouTube. So my biggest 2 films were the original Epitaph Bread and Salt, as well as The Perfect Letter. And both of those films had overt religious themes. and they were demonetized during the first wave of demonetization. So ads weren't completely taken off of them, but these films that were already crippled because of the new algorithm, then those films became demonetized, and they were at like 4 films that were basically that were basically bringing in most of the money for the channel. And what I noticed is when I did my last film, which was Transit, that brought in almost no money. And that film wasn't demonetized. It's just that now my channel is kind of deranked, and I don't know that for sure. I'm not going to say I know that for sure, but I'm quite sure my channel's been deranked. And I've noticed that my films, when I re-uploaded The Perfect Letter, I noticed that the film it was going up and up and up. It was making like I think there was one point it made 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 views a day, and then it just dropped. It just it got to a cliff and then just fell down. And so obviously in my mind, okay, I don't want to put aspersions out there, but in my mind, obviously some manipulation was going on, and I'm just not in for the bullshit. I work very hard on my films. I'm doing these films many times for $1,000 or less. I try not to go over $1,000 to keep it profitable. I'm not going to be doing these kind of projects that are very involved only to have some asshole at YouTube decide it's not what they like. So I'm going to be thinking about what goes on with my films and how that functions in the future. One of the things, I do plan to do a Victor Locke Demon Hunter film and some more Epitaph / Hexcraft Mechanics kind of movies. I do plan to do that. I want to get Dracula in there and Lady Bathory and all those people. Want to throw them in the films. The books and the movies do intersect, so I'm going to be putting a lot of focus on the books, particularly Victor Locke Demon Hunter and stuff like that. One of the things about the current system is back in the day when you made something, like you made a movie or something, YouTube only cared about ads. They cared about ads and watch time. If you're bringing in watch time and people were watching your movies and they were watching the ads and they were doing all that stuff, YouTube didn't care. And I was kind of particular about only having a certain amount of ads in my films and things like that. I didn't do, like, you'll watch a movie and it's like 20 ads in one film. And those films usually are films that people have ripped from DVDs and uploaded to YouTube. I was very particular. I usually had about maybe 6 ads during the whole film, and that was enough. Actually, that was enough to bring in some decent money at that time. And YouTube really only cared about the watch time and the ads, and if you were doing that, they were going to push your stuff. Nowadays, like if somebody doesn't watch the whole film, or let's just say they watch 15 minutes of it, which is, people watch movies and then they watch a little bit and then they come back and watch more, or they just stop watching. They decide, okay, not really for me. All that's fine. But now you get penalized for that because YouTube sees it as, well, they're not watching all of your content. So it becomes, back in the day where it made sense to make a full-length feature, now it really doesn't, because you're going to be penalized even if you're bringing in the watch time, which doesn't make sense because you're still keeping people on your platform. It's everything they're doing right now is silly, and they claim that it's to help YouTube, but it doesn't make sense when you look at it. A lot of it is political and to push more of a Hollywood type thing, to uplift the people already in power versus what YouTube was originally about. If you remember, YouTube's motto used to be broadcast yourself. And Wajiki, or whatever her name is, Suwo, when Suwo took over, her first thing was to remove that. It was no longer about you broadcasting yourself. She very much wanted you to know she didn't care about you. She wanted them Hollywood people in there, and that's what she's going to do, bring in the Hollywood folk and try to make this platform more Hollywood, completely forgetting what this platform was about. This was the anti-Hollywood here. And people actually, if you look at the platform now, people's material, the stuff people are doing here actually got slicker. It got cooler. As people were able to make money, they went out and bought items, you know, cameras, computers, things like that to really up their quality. And people were invested in this platform. People are not invested in this platform anymore. That includes people like myself. I understand the platform doesn't care about me, doesn't care about you. It just cares about. It doesn't even really care about money. And like Ethan says, if you're not doing it for money, what are you doing it for? It gets kind of iffy when you stop doing things for money. There's only two things you do stuff for, and that's love and money. They don't love us, and they ain't interested in making money. So what are they doing it for? That's just my take on it. So with that being said, guys, that's where I'm at. I'm, like I said, I'm not giving up on YouTube. I just don't see myself making it a big deal. I might even start going back to some daily vlogging and stuff, like this, but probably not going to be a lot of, probably not going to be anything too specific. It's just going to be maybe me doing some videos like this and things of that nature. Other than that, I do plan on doing Blastback. You'll probably be getting some videos about that, because gotta push those campaigns. But other than that, guys, that's it, and I'll talk to you maybe later today, maybe tomorrow. I don't know yet, but I do want to do my video about my iPad video and some other stuff I want to get out of there. That's kind of the main one I've had kind of waiting to go. So you guys take it easy. Nathan Brennan Masters. Talk to you guys next time. Hasta.
Don't look back, we're here to stay. A life we knew would come one day. And this is it.